going live. Um, but I'm pretty disgusted. Just 1 minute. I'm pretty disgusted by what I heard this morning as I was getting ready um, for work. I am. I do want to be. I do want to be very clear. I have the utmost respect for AB. Okay, I just want to make that perfectly clear. This doesn't have anything to do with him, but it was in fact something I heard on his channel as I was getting ready for work. So I really did not have time to go back and see who this woman was that was speaking, um, but I was pretty horrified by what I heard, and I know for a fact that what she's saying was absolutely untrue. So I think that there's mutual respect, and I generally kind of try to stay out of the fray. But look, this is more of something that I had found egregious from the beginning, and I feel like if I don't say something, I feel like that's wrong to do because there is truth that I know because I experienced it, and so I need to say this, and I don't know who that woman was. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know. I believe they called her Gigi, but I don't know who that is. But here's what I know to be absolutely fact. This woman, Gigi, it sounded like maybe it was a recording on Tiffany Marie's channel, and then AB was just screening the discussion. And Tiffany Marie and I go back a long way. I have zero trouble with her. So, and often we don't agree, but always we get along. We're friends. We don't have any trouble with each other, right? So here's of course the conversation and the part that I know that I experienced that is truthful, and that is that they were talking about Benny Keys, and AB calls him Skeezy, and Keys has got a really bad reputation going back to Cash Gernon. That was horrifying. I was following Tiffany Marie through that whole story. It was truly, truly, truly awful. And I felt like that Benny Keith's behavior during that story was truly awful. And I mean, I don't know how you go up to a home where there's been a baby murdered and knock on the door and said, "Let me buy you pizza." I was just flabbergasted. It was the craziest thing I'd ever heard. But anyway, nevertheless, it happened. And so when this whole Suzanne Morphew thing happened, then me and Gonzo got to be friends online, and then a little while later, then I started being friends with AK. And the conversation was always related to the search for Suzanne, or that somebody got an interview with AK. AK has spoken to Barry quite a bit, probably more than anybody else that we know of on YouTube, and so there was a lot of we made friends kind of behind the scenes, and so it was very clear that AK and Gonzo didn't understand this YouTube thing, right? They weren't really clear. Now, I think that if I'm wrong about this, and I'm sure AK will correct me, but I think that his first contact was with the interview room, not the interview room, Profile and Evil, and Adventures with Purpose. He and Gonzo joked a lot about them being, do-tubers instead of, YouTubers, that they didn't just sit in front of the keyboard for hours and hours at a time, but that they were going out and they were making stories, they were living them, which that's what gonzo journalism is, right? That they were living the story and then coming back and either giving those of us that the talking heads in the true crime genre, they were either giving us information that they had found, or like Gonzo's an artist, and so he puts up a lot of his photographs and videos and things like that. AK had a different reason. His goal, he and Gonzo, I think, ended up pairing up together once they met over the Suzanne Morphy thing. But they had this incredible idea. I'm talking about incredible. To get a group of people from across the United States, a few people in each state, that would work as a team, and that people would have technological tools that would make it possible to take these high definition photographs and pictures of areas, upload them to a central website, and then the people that were on the team, they would sit for hours and go over each square inch of each of these super high definition photographs to try to find these kids or other people, within the first couple of days to increase the chance of survival. That is a hell of an idea. That is a hell of an idea, and it is a noble idea, right? So really, I just developed an incredible amount of respect for these two, and one of the things that created that respect is that they really were not looking for glory. They really didn't want to be front and center. I had to beg AK to come on my channel. He did not want. Now, once he got on there, and then we had that one night interview, it turned out to be really great. But he just didn't, they just kind of were. They just didn't really seem to be want to be part of the whole YouTube sphere. Now, I was watching the night that Chris McDonough doxed AK. I'm talking about to the hills and back, and my jaw hit the ground. Like, I saw the tweet when it came up, and I just thought, what is he doing? He knows that it's illegal to dox someone and put out. He put out everything. The problem was he put out truths, but then he also interspersed a bunch of BS. It was total lies about AK. So now they're up to the same old thing, and Gigi was the one that was talking about it, and I don't know her. I don't know what her role is or anything, but she the whole reason for AK talking about the Airstream was that Chris McDonough doxed him. He also was horrifying. He also played psychodynamic behavioral analyst in a role that he's definitely not trained to be in. And he tried to say that AK was involved in this Suzanne Morphy thing for a really bizarre reason, and it's not my role to say what it is. If AK wants to say it, then he'll say it, but I don't want to say it. But my jaw hit the ground, and I thought, whoa, what gives you the courage or the gall to come out in front of thousands, tens of thousands of people and say something so bizarre, right? It was Freudian bizarre. That's how bizarre it was. It was pretty nutty. So anyway, that was the whole thing for AK to say that about the Airstream. It was 100% related to him getting the lawsuit and moving forward. The man had no idea who Benny Keys was. And the reason I know that is because I made a joke about Benny Keys, and AK said, "Who is that? What's that about?" And so I told him, and I showed him some of the videos about Cash Gernon, And I'm going to tell you right now, that is not that's not the same type of person. You know, birds flock together, right? Um, that is not him, not him. And when Skis, when he went on and did his victory lap, and he went on YouTube after McDonough's channel went down. He went on YouTube and he made a YouTube channel that he called Benny Keys, right? He tried to make it look like he was Nomadic Trek from Twitter by being Nomadic Trek on uh, on YouTube, but that was just part of his BS. I don't even think he had anything to do with bringing down McDonough. I think the concern was the interviews and the stating stating in an affirmative manner that indeed Nomadic Trek was identified as Brian Laundrie, because I think that was putting a private citizen in jeopardy, in danger. I don't think it had anything to do with Benny Keys at all. I think it was 100% the worrisome information coming out about Nomadic Trek. And when his channel came back up, all of his videos were there, including all the interviews on Summer Wells, but what was not there were the videos on Nomadic Trek. Which tells me that he probably came up with an agreement with YouTube to take those down, because those were the actual breaking of terms of service, not some stupid thing that Benny Keys reported. That's just silly. That is just silly. He tried in that video he made. I just rolled my eyes and said, "You totally had nothing to do with bringing." That is just ridiculous. So I don't. This comment that Gigi was making, that Benny Keys and AK and Gonzo and a few other people, that they were trying to get McDonough's wife, his concealed carry license taken, trying to get him fired, and that she needed him in true crime. She needed him doing what he does. And I was just aghast. I am telling you, these guys that really did not do the whole YouTube crap. They didn't want to be known as YouTubers. AK absolutely had no idea who Benny Keys was. No idea. And then I don't even think I've ever heard Gonzo say a single word about Benny Keys. Not ever. I think Benny Keys he wanted to be like Gonzo and AK. He wanted to have, be a real, I hate to say the term real man, because that sounds kind of, bizarre, but I think he wants to be the kind of guy that goes out and actually does something, and have the respect that obviously Gonzo and AK earned. I think he wanted that. He wanted to be identified with them, but no, as far as I know, unless it happened after, absolutely, AK did not know who that was, because I was the one that was talking about the guy, and he was just like, "Who the hell is that?" And that's, and like I said, I've never heard Gonzo say it. I don't know, but I can't imagine that he would. Look, I've talked to they. This is not Benny Keys is not their ilk. It is not. It is truly not. So, anyway, I don't. It is getting really nasty on YouTube. I hate to see it. I just hate it. I hate. It makes it really hard to talk about the topics you want to talk about, because you're afraid that step on someone's toes, and then the gang mentality kicks in, and it's just not right. You just use your logic, use your be rational. I don't know, somebody, I don't remember who it was. Oh, maybe it was Scientific Skeptic. said that there was somebody named AK, like a rapper. I don't know anything about that. Okay, I don't know any. I don't know what that is. It could be a made-up thing for all I know. This may just be a way to get AK lumped in with a guy that is really hated by the majority of people because he's just, I don't want to name call, but you know what I mean. He's just not, I'm gonna stop there. I don't want to say, but it's possible that they were trying to lump him in, but I know for a fact there was even something that was said. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was even something said that AK was involved in bringing down Chris McDonough's channel when it actually went missing, like when it the day that it went down, and I think didn't McDonough go? He went on somebody's channel, maybe Linda. Maybe it was Linda's channel, and was talking, and it was he was saying something like something that AK did that day that related to this whole drama, and I just had to laugh because everyone that knows AK, and that includes YouTubers and non-YouTubers, they all knew he was in surgery that day. He was not able to do anything. So it's very messy and it's very ugly. And you compare a guy that's got tens of thousands of subscribers against a guy that didn't even have 500 subscribers. This is weird. It's weird. It is very strange that he, seems to be being targeted. It's very strange to me. It's very strange. But anyway, I have a great deal of respect for Trisha on Web Sleuth. She is no nonsense. She would never have a successful website and organization as what she does if she was not double and triple checking sources. And I think that it's dawning on her that things may not be what they appear, and there's no reason for there to be a witch hunt. There's no reason for there to be anger. And I mean, if you really want to get down to it, what we're all doing is a form of entertainment, right? Whether it is having these discussions and how do you find these kids when they go missing? What can you do to make things easier to find them? Reporting, bringing awareness when they do go missing. I mean, one way or the other, it's providing a platform for communication, and so I don't know that Jonathan Lee Richards. Look, he said that the way he escaped drinking the Jonestown, cyanide laced Kool-Aid is because at the last minute he switched his drink for a 7-Eleven Great Icy. They were in the middle of the jungle, Jonathan Lee Richards. There was no 7-Eleven anywhere in Africa. The reason I know is because I lived there at about that same time. Okay? So the treat of the day was to go out and pick a mango off your backyard tree. Okay? There were no ices. So just, you got to take this whole YouTube thing with a grain of salt. I mean, there's people saying crazy things that are just simply not accurate. And something personal, I think, happened between McDonough and AK, and I think that they don't like each other. But that in no way puts AK into the friendship zone with someone like Benny Keys. Not for a minute. Not for a minute. If I turn out to be wrong, then I'm wrong, and I'll own that. But wow, I'll be blown away if that's the case. But I do know for a fact that at the time that we were, I think it was around, it must have been right after, no, because we were friends before Barry got arrested. Must have been around like I don't even know now, but it was quite a while ago. It was before the preliminary hearing, that something was said about Benny Keys, something he had done. I don't even remember what it was. It was insignificant. It was just a passing joke about YouTubers, and um, he said, "Who is that?" So yeah, there's that. All right, and that I know to be fact. So all the other stuff I don't. I'm just telling you what I heard, but I do know he had no idea who Keys was, and I don't think like I said, ever heard Gonzo even mention anything about Keys. They just don't. It's just not the same. Keys is so out there with everything. He just brags and he just talks loud and he just lots of attention for himself and schemes to get the camera on him. And that is really the exact opposite of what drives Gonzo and AK. They don't like all that mess at all. So I hope I didn't speak out of turn. I kind of got triggered because I thought, wow, this is crazy that they're saying this. So that's just what I know to be fact and truth. I'm just adding to the narrative. If what you want is facts, um, if you just want a witch hunt, then you're not going to care anything about it, what I have to say. But if you really do care about the reality, then I've told you what I know to be absolute truth. I don't know the other stuff, but I do know that he did not know who Benny was. All right. All right, I'm done. Talk to y'all later. Have a great day.